it's another Getting Real with Ashleydawn. I'm Ashleydawn, and I want to get real with you. So, I want to talk to you about relationships. I want to talk to you about breakups, and I want to talk to you about makeups. So, have you ever dated somebody, maybe off and on? Have you ever broken up, waited a little bit, got back together, broken up, waited a little bit, got back together, broken up, waited a little bit, got back together, like, I don't know, 27 times? No? Just me? Okay. So, I'm just going to be real. I've done that. And in my little, optimistic, happy-go-lucky mind, in my head, I'm like, oh, they learned their lesson, and they're coming back, and now they want a relationship. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Sometimes God will remove somebody from our life. God will impress upon our heart to break up with somebody, or them to break up with us, because it goes both ways. And it'll hurt us, and we'll get healed, and then they'll see that we're healed, and they'll try coming back into our life because they no longer have the power in our life. Sometimes we are so optimistic that we're, thinking, oh, it's a sign from God. No, it's not. It's not a sign from God. Here's the deal. This is something that I've learned. I'm 34 years old. I've been in probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've been in 11 relationships. Like actual girlfriend, boyfriend, dating for a significant amount of time relationships. I've been in 11. And you may be thinking, whoa, Ashleydawn, that's a lot. It kind of is. But if I'm like dating somebody like for an extended period of time, like that's a relationship to me. I'm not talking about, like 3 months, that's a relationship to me. Anyway, so I've dated a good bit. And in dating a good bit, I've gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like my high school boyfriend, I can't even tell you how many times we went back and forth over years and years and years of him leaving my life, coming into my life, leaving my life, coming into my life, realizing what he lost, coming back, messing up again, like so many times. And I can honestly tell you, every time it hurt me even more. It hurt me even more. There was a reason that we broke up. There is a reason that you break up. I highly encourage you not to get back together with somebody that you broke up with, unless they really have changed and you really feel that God is leading you to get back with them. Going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth is toxic. Think about it as you standing inside of a door, right? You're standing in a doorway. You walk out of the door. You walk back in. You walk out. You walk back in. How stupid do you look? You look pretty stupid. I'm talking about myself. I've looked pretty stupid when people are like, I thought you just broke up with him. I'm like, oh, I know. We're back together. And they're like, oh, girl, why? Like, he wasn't good to you the last time. What makes you think he's going to be good to you this time? Anyway, my friend Connie gave me a sign. It's really cute. It's from Natural Life. I love that brand. It's very hippie, like colorful flowers. And it says, don't look back. You're not going that way. And it made me think about the story of Lot. In the Bible, Abraham told Lot he could pick wherever he wanted for his inheritance. He could literally live wherever he wanted. And Lot chose to live right outside Sodom and Gomorrah. And he just inched his way closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Well, in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were doing all kinds of bad things. They didn't want anything to do with God. And so God said, you know what? I'm going to destroy the city because these people are just evil and vile. And they're just being hateful and doing mean things and hurting each other. And it's just bad. The only way to fix it is to destroy it because their hearts are hard. I'm going to give them one chance. And so he tells, Lot, Abraham tells Lot, you need to leave. So they leave. The one caveat to God saving them from this terrible place is they weren't supposed to look back. Why? One, it shows disobedience, that you're not trusting God in what he tells you. And two, it shows that coveting. In the Bible, the 10 commandments: do not covet, do not steal, do not lie, do not give false witness, that's lying. Do not do all these things. Do not covet. What is coveting? What isn't yours, wanting something else, wanting something other than what God gave you. Like, it hurts his heart when he gives his children good things and they don't want them. It hurts his heart when he protects them and they get mad at him for protecting them. So Lot's wife was mad. She didn't want to leave her little life. She liked her little, place that she used to live. She liked living there. And so she looked over her shoulder. She disobeyed God and she turned into a pillar of sand. Or salt. A pillar of salt. Sorry. Pillar of salt. And you think, ouch, that's really harsh of God. No, that's really loving of God. Because if she would have went back to the life, to live there. Say he didn't turn her into a pillar of salt. Say she would have went back. He was going to destroy that place anyway, and he had told her, hey, destruction is coming. I'm going to destroy this place. She didn't listen. How many times has God told us, that guy's no good for you, and we don't listen, and we keep going back, and we keep getting hurt, and then we get mad at God, and we're like, God, why am I hurting? And he's like, I told you not to go back to that guy. I told you not to go back to that job. I told you not to go back to that place that you used to do drugs. I told you not to go back to the bar. I told you not to go back to this place. Whatever that place is for you, whatever God has told you not to do. I told you not to go back there. Maybe you struggle with anger issues and, there's certain things that trigger your anger, and God said, stay away from those things, and then you go back to them. If God tells you not to look back and you look back, you can't blame him for what happens. For me, I have recycled boyfriends in the past and allowed them to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. And then I get mad at God. God, why is my heart broken? Well, I broke my own heart. I let somebody into my life that already ruined their opportunity to be in my life. Here's the deal. If you throw something away in the trash can and you take it out to the road and the trash man picks it up and he brings it to the dump, you don't get to get it back. You threw it away, it's gone. A lot of times it's crushed in that little compactor thing in the trash, and they crush all of it. Like, whatever you throw away is gone. It's gone. You can't get it back. You can go all the way to the dump and dig through trash and maggots and feces and all kinds of stuff if you want to, trying to get it back, but you're not going to get it back. It's not happening. You threw it away. That is how we need to look at relationships. If somebody throws you away, if it's a friend and they throw your friendship away, put it in the trash, send it to the curb, let it go to the dump, they do something so god-awful, I'm not telling you not to forgive them. I do believe in forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't mean allowing the person to do what they did again. It just means you're not going to hold them to a level of punishing them for what they've done. In that, say somebody steals from you, you're not going to steal from them to punish them for what they stole from you. You know what I mean? You can forgive somebody and not let them back into your life. You can have a healthy boundary that says, you hurt me and you don't get to come close anymore. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody hurts you and they show you that every time they get around you, they say mean things to you, you don't have to let them back into your life after you forgave them. Forgiveness means not harboring anything in your heart against that person, not harboring hate or bitterness or unforgiveness or resentment in your heart towards that person. It's letting it all go. It's saying, you know what? I'm going to show them grace. They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I forgive you. But moving forward, you're not going to have the place in my life that you used to have. If there is a relationship where a man abused you physically, emotionally, mentally, if he abandoned you, if he neglected you, if he made you feel like you didn't matter, if he let it go months without contacting you, he ghosted you, do not let that fool back into your life. He threw you to the curb. He threw you in the trash. Do not let that man come back into your life. He doesn't deserve it. He does not deserve the opportunity to hurt you again. He made a choice and he threw you in the trash. So, just like when you throw something in the trash and it goes to the dump, you can't get it back. Sometimes we are so busy looking backwards looking in our rearview mirror. You know how big your rearview mirror is? It's about, I can't do it because my mom will get mad at me for taking my hands off the wheel. But it's like that and that. That is a tiny little mirror. Your windshield is huge. It's probably 100 times the size of that little dinky rearview mirror. If I was driving my car and I was staring at the rearview mirror the whole time, I would probably get into a bunch of wrecks and I'd probably hit a bunch of cars. Why would I focus in a little teeny mirror that big when I got a whole windshield in front of me? I can see bridges and I can see boats and I can see stuff all over the water. I don't even know what that is. And I can see, all kinds of stuff. Beautiful boats and the water. I'd be missing all of that if I was looking at my rearview mirror just staring at other people, just staring at other cars. Guess what? If it's in my rearview mirror, it means it's behind me. It means I passed it. I'm forward. I'm further. I'm in front of it. Lot's wife looked backwards and it destroyed her. Sometimes in our life, God has so much in store for us. God's got a future for us. He's got a plan for us. But we are so stuck on stupid and we are so stuck in the past that we are breaking our neck to look behind us. And God's like, I don't want you looking behind you. What's in front of you is better. What's in front of you is what I have for you. What's in front of you, not what's behind you. Addiction. People that have overcome addiction and have turned around and looked in their past. Maybe somebody else has pointed out their past. Oh, look at what you did. Oh, look at what you did. No, stop looking in the past. You're not that person anymore. You're not that addict anymore. God has healed you. God has redeemed you. You are an overcomer. You are walking in recovery. You are walking in recovery. Do not look backwards. Do not look at your past. Do not look what's behind you. Move forward into healing. If somebody points out your past, tell them you don't live there no more. Tell them you got a new address. You're living in the future. You're not living in the past. You're not who you used to be. So you have a felony on your record. That's not who you are now. You don't have to go back to jail. You can make the choice to live your life above the law, above reproach, with integrity. You don't have to look back at who you used to be. If you spend all your time looking in the rearview mirror, you're going to crash. If you spend all your time looking at the past, who you used to be, you are going to break your own heart and you're going to destroy your potential for your future. If you look at all the ex-boyfriends you used to have or all the ex-girlfriends and miss them and want to be with them and are constantly trying to get back with your exes, you are never going to know the amazing thing that's waiting in front of you, the amazing relationship that's waiting in front of you. If you're constantly looking backwards, or here's even worse, if you're trying to make that guy miss you, that guy that broke your heart, that girl that broke your heart, and you're like, I'm going to make them regret losing me. I'm going to make that. No. If you are wasting your time caring about them or trying to make them see you or trying to do something, can I tell you to stop? I'll be real vulnerable. So my ex-boyfriend and I literally drive the exact same road to work every morning. He goes that way and I go this way. Do you know what I did when we broke up? Well, we really didn't have a breakup, but I, first of all, changed the time that I drive that road and I started going a different way. Why? Because I have no intention on seeing him. And you say, well, you should dress up real cute, and do your hair and do your makeup and make him miss you and drive by and, look all hot. No, I really don't care what he thinks. I really do not care. I really do not. I go a different way to work because I don't want to see him. And if I happen to see him, I saw him the other day, I just looked the other way. I wasn't even wasting my time on it. Some of y'all need to do the same thing. If you drive the same way to work that your ex does, go a different way. There's a million different streets in town. Find a different one. If you know you have this one restaurant that you like to eat at all the time, your ex eats there, or you like to go to, a certain place and your ex goes there, pick a different place. Do not go there. And I'm not saying you got to hide and you got to change your life, but don't even waste your time with something that's in your rearview mirror. It's behind you. It's not in front of you. Focus on what's in front of you. What is in front of you? What's in front of me right now is a weekend with my friend Tanya at Disney. And I am so excited about that. I could look in the past and get all sad and get all heartbroken and you know, no. I'm looking in the front. I'm going to Disney with my friend Tanya, and I cannot wait. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on where I'm going. Regardless of who's around me, I know where I'm going. You got to get to the point where you do the same thing and you say, I'm not looking backwards. I'm not going there anyway. Where am I going? What am I focused on? Who cares about who's around me? Who cares about, you know, ex-boyfriends? And I'll say something else. If you have an ex-boyfriend that won't leave you alone and keeps blowing up your phone, I had an ex-boyfriend that did that. Actually, my ex-husband would not leave me alone and kept calling me and harassing me and just crazy stuff. Guess what I did? I blocked his number and then I changed it. You're allowed to change your number. Did you know that? You are. You're allowed to change your email address. You're allowed to move. You are allowed to change your physical address. Listen, if you have to do something to separate yourself from your past, do it. If it means packing up a U-Haul and moving, do it. And I'm not saying run away from your past or hide it or, you know, stuff it in a closet. Deal with it. You need to deal with it. You need to go to counseling. You need to get some healing. You need to deal with it. But at no point, zero, at no point do you need to go to those old places that you used to go to or do those old things that you used to do. No, stop it. You're a new creation. 2 Corinthians 5:17. You are a new creation in Christ Jesus. The old is gone and the new has come. Stop looking backwards. Stop looking at what you used to be, who you used to be, who you used to date. Stop it. If you've been divorced, stop looking in the past and, well, I was married and la la. Well, are you married now? No? Okay, let's move forward. And I'm not saying to get a divorce. I'm not saying to run from your problems. I know that God does not like divorce. But I also know that God does not like a man cheating on a woman or a woman cheating on a man. I know that God does not like a man abandoning a woman or a woman abandoning a man. I know God does not want a man abusing or lying or manipulating a woman or a woman doing that to a man. I know what God's desire is for marriage. And when that desire is not met, I do believe that sometimes divorce is necessary. If somebody is beating on you, if they are ripping your character apart verbally on a daily basis, I would never encourage you to stay in that marriage. I would encourage you to go to counseling. I would encourage you to exhaust all efforts, be it, you know, maybe you need a restraining order, maybe you need, you know, to separate yourself, maybe you need to go to counseling, maybe you need to move out. Listen, every situation is different. I'm not telling you to get a divorce, but I am telling you, if you have had a divorce because it was such a toxic situation that you had to get out of, to heal, to be strong, to be healthy, to be close to God, I'm not condemning you for that. I've had a divorce. Am I proud of that? No. I married somebody who pretended to be one way. We got married and he totally was a different way. He ripped me apart on a daily basis. He made me feel about that big. He cheated on me. He ran around on me. He abandoned me. And you know what? I dealt with it. I went to counseling, a lot of counseling. I got healed. We separated. I tried to see if he would change. We went back and forth like 3 or 4 times. And then finally I realized he didn't want to change. And so that's when I filed for divorce and I was done, and that was in my past, and that's gone. If you've had a divorce, if you've gone through the same thing, let that be in your past. Don't have your head turned around, you know, like I have one friend who really still struggles. She recently had a divorce. Her ex-husband cheated on her multiple times, multiple different women. And she's heavier, and she always thought it was because of her weight. And so she lost a lot of weight, got really skinny, you know, trying to make him see what he missed. And I kept telling her, like, you are literally wasting your life staring backwards at what you used to be and who you used to be, at your ex-husband. Move forward. God has something new for you. Move forward. Stop looking at the past. You don't live there anymore. Like I said, with addiction or with, you know, alcoholism. If you know that going to bars is going to make you fall back into that trap of alcoholism, do not go to a bar. If you pass by your favorite bar every day and you drive by it, go a different way. Drive a different way. Do not let your past withhold you from your future. Do not let an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend withhold you from your future. Detox them from your mind. If you've been intimate with them, ask God to cut soul ties, because soul ties are a real thing. When you are with someone intimately, you become one with them, and it's hard to break that, but God will. Ask Him, say, God, break every single thing in me that's connected to this person. Break the soul ties, break the thoughts, break the heart, break the desire for intimacy with this person. Break it all off. I don't want anything to do with them. Break it off. And God will. And then spend time next to Him. Spend time in the Bible. Listen, you want the best counselor on earth. His name is Jesus Christ. And He will heal you, and He will help you, and He will redeem you, and He will give you clarity and discernment and wisdom. But if you're not in the Bible, if you're not actively seeking Him and seeking His wisdom, you'll never find it. If I do not put gas in my car and turn it on, I will never get anywhere. I gotta put the gas in my car, get in my car, and go. Same thing. You want to know the things of God, you gotta open your Bible and spend time with God and learn the things of God. Don't look at your past. You don't live there anymore. Don't look at somebody else's past and start judging them and looking at them. Oh, you did that. No. What are you doing? What does your life look like? Are you being the healthiest version of yourself, and are you helping others to be their healthiest version of themselves? If yes, awesome, great, wonderful. If not, baby, you need to fix it. You need to fix it. Stop looking in your past. God doesn't have that for you. Stop recycling relationships. If somebody breaks your heart, understand that they didn't value your heart to begin with. So you probably shouldn't go back. I know there are very few cases, 0.00001% of guys or women that actually change. And if they were abusive, actually change and aren't abusive anymore. And probably because they went to a lot of counseling and got healing for trauma that they, are taking out on you. Go watch my hot potato video. Stop living in the past. God has a future for you, but you will never see your future if you're looking backwards. If you keep recycling these boys or guys or girls or whoever, you keep letting them in your life and out of your life and in your life and out of your life and in your life and out of your life. First of all, you need to do not lower your standards. Do not live in the past. Do not let some guy that didn't treat you good, some guy that didn't value your heart, some girl that didn't value your heart, come in and mishandle your heart again. If I have a baby, say I have a baby, and I let somebody hold my baby and they hurt it, I promise you they're never holding my baby again. If I have a baby and I let somebody hold it and they drop it, I promise you I'm never letting that person hold my baby again. The Bible says to protect your heart because your entire life flows from it. If your baby, if your child is that important to you, why isn't your heart that important to you? Oh, snap. I know. If your child is so important to you, why isn't your heart that important to you? If somebody mistreated your child, you would never let that person around your child again. If someone has mistreated your heart, your emotions, do not let that person around your heart again. Have boundaries, protect yourself, forgive them. Don't let unforgiveness, get in your heart. But if you have something valuable and you hand it to somebody who doesn't understand the value of that thing, and they misuse it, or they mistreat it, or they break it, they give it back to you, it is your job to make sure that they don't hurt it again. So if a guy, if a girl has hurt you, I would really encourage you not to go backwards, not to let them back into your life. What makes you think that they're going to honor you and respect you now? Nothing. So my encouragement to you is stop looking backwards, stop recycling relationships, move forward. What does God have for you in your future? Stop looking at your past. If somebody, keeps reminding you of who you used to be, let them know that that's not you anymore. And I would even encourage you, if somebody is stuck on your past, maybe you need to leave them in your past. If somebody keeps reminding you of when you were an addict, or when you were an alcoholic, or when you were this, or when you were that, maybe they need to stay in that past, in that memory. And you let them know, listen, I move forward. And if you're not moving forward with me, you want to keep bringing that up, you can stay back there with it. Because that's not who I am anymore. God gave me a new name. In the Bible, when God would do something, Abram became Abraham. Sarai became Sarah. God changes our name. God makes us a new creation. God changed your name. You're not who you used to be. So if somebody else calls you by your old name, don't answer. Don't listen. I have an old phone number. And if somebody calls my own phone, 217-2165. If somebody calls that number, guess what? They're not going to get me. That's not my number no more. I got a new number. Well, I got a new name too. And if somebody wants to call me by my old name, sorry, I ain't answering. You want to call my old number? Sorry, I ain't answering. That's not my number no more. I don't live there no more. That's not my name no more. Maybe you need to tell some people in your life that's not your name no more. Because God has a future and a plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11. He has plans to prosper you, to give you a hope, to give you a future, to give you good things. And if somebody is stuck reminding you of the bad things from your past, maybe you need to leave them in your past too. God